We're going to hold our applause till we get to the last person. Can we do that? No. We'll see. There you go. I knew I could expect that. First off, I'd like to recognize among our special guests from outside our district, Rotary International President nominee John and Judy Germ. So it only took one night. Also like to recognize our Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator. He is responsible for our zone of 15 districts, Ron and Lane Farrell from Martinsville, Virginia. Our past Rotary Regional Foundation Coordinator, and if he survives this tough challenge period during this month, will be our Rotary International Director starting in 2016-17, Joe Mulcairn and his wife Ann, who are here from Virginia Beach. We have immediate past district governor, which makes him a classmate of Cookie's, Ron Mabry, who's here from Front Royal, Virginia. Ron, thank you for being here. From our neighboring district, 7710, we have Serge Dehoff, who is not only a past district governor, but he coordinates all of the hosts for the Peace Center at UNC Duke. Thanks for being here, Serge. I want to recognize two of our Peace Fellows who are here. They are being hosted by Rotarians in our district, and they made the trip to be with us this evening. And bear with me because English is my first language, and got a couple of challenging names here, but I think I can do it. We have with us Jean Lambert Shalalala. And we have Peace Fellow Carlos Juarez and his wife, Jean Mendieta. Okay, it gets a little easier for me now. I'm going to introduce past district governors from our district, and I will ask you to hold your applause until we get to the end. I'll ask each of you to stand as I recognize you. Past District Governor Marcus and Margaret Kratz. Past District Governor Wilbur and Shirley Hancock. Past District Governor Carroll and Gerald Summerlin. Past Governor Dr. Stewart and Carol Fountain. Barbara Haynes, who is the wife of our former Governor John Haynes. Past District Governor Jack and Charlene Green. Past Governor Bob Newton. Past Governor Don and Pat Allred. Past Governor Phil and Karen Morris. Guy with a camera to run around. Past Governor David McCoy. Past Governor Charles and Sandra Allen. Past Governor Mike and Marianne Conrad. Past Governor Wes Patterson and his guest Marilyn Ferguson. Past Governor Terry Titus and Rhonda Fleming. Past Governor Rick and Linda Snyder. And our immediate past Governor Cookie Billings and her husband Dr. Ray Piper. All right. Our district is known worldwide for the support of the Rotary Foundation, and that group of people that we just recognized have a lot to do with that. They've been ardent supporters of the Rotary Foundation. Their passion and the legacy they've created lives on until today. I do want to recognize our upcoming governors. Our district governor-elect, Larry Lassiter and his wife Dolores, right here. And I certainly do not want to forget my wife, Kristen Eakes. She always gets more applause than I do. District Rotary Foundation Committee Chair, Michael Conrad, for this part of the program.
Well, good evening. Wow, what a wonderful crowd. We can't thank you enough for coming tonight and for your wonderful support of our foundation. We are truly honored to have in our midst Rotary International President nominee and Chair of the International Polio Plus Committee, John Germ, and his lovely wife, Judy. It's just been a pleasure and wonderful to get to know him in the last 2 days. And he speaks Southern, just like us. So he's one of us. He's one of our own. So it's so great to have him here. I do want to recognize those that have been so involved in the planning for this evening's event. Immediate past District Governor Cookie Billings, when you give her a job, don't worry, she is going to get it done and it is going to be done right. And Cookie, we can't thank you enough for all you do. Margaret Pageant, who couldn't be here tonight, is our District Secretary, as well as our District Governor Patrick and Stephanie Billings, who your programs tonight was designed by her. And of course, she is a non-Rotarian, but we know how to find her. And she does a great job for us. So I know Cookie will pass that on for us. You know, it is truly an honor for me to serve as your foundation chair. I have had the privilege to serve immediate past District Governor Cookie Billings, and now District Governor Patrick Higgs. And I certainly look forward to also serving District Governor-elect Larry Laster. You know, we have been blessed in this district to have outstanding leadership over the years. And these three are certainly no exception, and I know you will agree with me on that. We're also blessed with having outstanding Rotarians who are passionate about our foundation and give of their time to provide you with the best support possible. So I want to introduce our team, and I'm going to ask each one to stand. I noticed that every one of them is here this evening. I hope they made it in the rain, but I think everyone is here, and I want you to hold your applause. I'm going to be a little bit more of a taskmaster than that. So wait until I've introduced everyone, until you give a great round of applause for these wonderful folks who give of their time. I'm first going to introduce our foundation advocates, and they are, in Area 1, Marion Goldwasser. I know Marion is here. Area 2, past District Governor Carol Summerlin. Area 3, Randy Perkins. Area 4, George Liddell. Area 5, Slade Lewis. Area 6, past District Governor Dave McCoy. Area 7, past District Governor Wes Patterson. Area 8, Robert Graves. Area 9, Lloyd Navarro. Area 10, Larry Aiken. Area 11, DuPont Kirby. And can't thank them enough for all they do. Now I want to introduce our committee chairs. And here again, if you would, hold your applause. Our endowment fund chair is past District Governor Bob Newton. Annual fund chair is past District Governor Charles Allen. Our Paul Harris Society chair is past District Governor Dave McCoy. Our Our major donor chair is past District Governor Stuart Fountain. Our Polio Plus chair is past District Governor Rick Snyder. Our Global Grants chair is Rusty Hunt. Our District Grants co-chairs are District Governor nominee John Spillman and Donna Neal. Our Scholarships and Peace Fellows chair is Jim Kennedy. And our Vocational Training chair is Mike Sigmund. So give them a great hand. You know, tonight is a celebration of our accomplishments for the past Rotary year. It is also a celebration of what we have accomplished thus far this year. And rather for me to elaborate on all of these accomplishments, I want to leave it to the presenters who will follow me. But I do want to recognize those who have attained Triple Crown status. You know, our district is known in the Rotary world for some firsts. We were the first district in the world with 100%, where 100% of our Rotarians were Paul Harris Fellows. And this distinction was recognized by Rotary International in March of 2008. And I think Dave McCoy was our district governor at that time. Past District Governor Stuart Fountain challenged our clubs in our district to become a Triple Crown Club. Now, what is a Triple Crown Club? It means that all members are Paul Harris Fellows, all members are sustaining, and all members are benefactors. Well, of our current 50 clubs, we have 12 who have attained this distinction. And I now want to recognize those 12 clubs who have done so. And I'm going to ask those members of the club to stand as I call your club's name. And I'm going to call them in the order of when they received this distinction. So, our first club is the Crescent Club. I knew I was going to get this. This is Patrick's club. And of course, they were the first in our district and the first in the Rotary world. Now, the second club is my club, the Gate City Club. And the following, I'm going to go through the Sand Hills Club. I know they're represented here this evening. Jonesboro, Sanford, Sandley, Kernersville, Hillsdale Sunrise. And let me tell you a little bit about Hillsdale Sunrise. They were a Triple Crown Club at charter. So that's pretty special to have all your members as Paul Harris Fellows, all sustaining, and all as benefactors. So I thank them for that. Greensboro Airport, Southern Guilford, Knoxville, and Thomasville, my hometown. Great job. All right, now my question is, oh, you know what? I did miss you. Is it Southern Guilford, New Generations? Sorry about that. All right, now I want to know who's going to be next. We have at least 2 or 3 clubs that I hear by the grapevine are very, very close. So it would be something special if we could recognize 1 or 2 or 3 clubs at our district conference in Roanoke. And we'll make a special do about that. So I know you're working on it, and I know you're going to make it happen. You know, Rotary International President Gary Wong's theme of Light Up Rotary is so appropriate for the Rotarians in this district. Not only do we give of our resources, but through our sweat equity, we make a difference in the many lives in our communities and around the world. The Rotarians in this district exemplifies our motto of service above self. The Rotary Foundation is our foundation. And to paraphrase a deceased past Rotary International president and a truly Southern gentleman, Glenn Estes, your support of our foundation enables us to take on challenges that no one else has the ability or the inclination or the organizational resources to tackle. We in Rotary share what we have in a way that no one else does, with love, with kindness, and with generosity. District 7690 Rotarians are doing good in the Rotary world. And I can't thank you enough for supporting our Rotary Foundation and for your support as we eradicate polio from the face of the earth. I now want to ask our major donor chair, past District Governor Stuart Fountain, to come forward to recognize our district's new major donors. But I also want to ask his lovely wife, Carol, to come along as well. As we all know, in this room, past District Governor Stewart has served this district in so many capacities. He is the only Rotarian in our district to serve as District Governor 2 years. Is that a lot?
What?
That is a lot? Okay, that is a lot. In my lifetime. Okay. Good news. All right, that was in 1998 and 99, the Rotarian year then. In 2001 and 2002, that both Patrick and I were presidents that particular year. He stepped in that particular situation to serve for Terry Alexander, who unfortunately died before the Rotary year started. Stuart has served as our foundation chair. He now serves as our major donor chair. He's been to India for a National Immunization Day. I mean, he has done everything. It's just amazing. But Stuart and Carol's personal giving has reached level 2 status, meaning that they have contributed a minimum of $25,000 to our Rotary Foundation. And I can't thank you enough for making this commitment to making a difference in the lives of those not only in our community, but around the world. And I want to present you with these pins as recognition of your wonderful support of our Rotary Foundation. Over to Stuart.
Thank you very much, Mike. It is my pleasure to recognize those individuals who have demonstrated their long-term commitment to Rotary and to our Rotary Foundation. As you look at the list of those dedicated individuals, you will be interested to know that in addition to their consistent support of the Rotary Foundation, they are longtime active members of their respective clubs. I believe I'm correct in stating that each one of them to be recognized tonight is a past president of their club, and most of them have been or are currently active at the district level as well. Obviously, they're committed to Rotary with their time, with their talent, and with their treasure. We are recognizing these outstanding Rotarians for becoming major donors to the Rotary Foundation, and none of them did it just last month or last year. As much as anything, the major donor designation is in recognition of having given at least $10,000 cumulatively to our foundation, but it is also recognizing and applauding their consistency year after year of contribution and support of the Rotary Foundation. That consistency certainly demonstrates a very high level of commitment to Rotary and to our Rotary Foundation. And we applaud them and genuinely appreciate their significant contributions to the work of our foundation in promoting peace and world understanding around the globe. Before making these individual presentations, I want to remind you and stress to you that as Rotarians, all of us are constantly promoting peace and world understanding. And as we follow the news day after day and month after month, we feel that this promotion of peace, goodwill, and world understanding is very, very important today. Every day we are reminded that there are those in the world who have as their goal to dominate Western civilization. It is absolutely essential that our Rotary Foundation remain strong, remain active in all parts of the world to improve the human condition, and continue to make friends one person at a time. Our Rotary values are at the core of who we are as a people. Extremist groups are teaching their young people how to dominate others through torture and barbaric violence. Rotary and the Rotary Foundation are a force for good to counterbalance this evil. Our programs where we work with Interact, the schools, the Scouts, and Youth Exchange have never, I repeat, never been more important. We are in a very long battle for the beliefs, the values, and the very soul of our young people. That's why the support of our Rotary Foundation by each person here tonight is so vitally important, and as Mike said, we really can't thank you enough. Do not let up with that support. We all need to continue to do our part to support this very important and meaningful work. Now we want to recognize these individuals who have consistently continued their support of the Rotary Foundation for multiple years to the point that they are now being recognized as major donors. We're very pleased that some of these recipients are here tonight, and I will ask them to come forward as their names are called. Others who were not able to attend tonight were David Grimes of the Greensboro Club, Coy Willard of the Furnitureland Club, and posthumously we want to recognize and remember Mary Fuller, who was a member of the Yanceyville Club. And so my first recipient tonight is Dr. Mark Zerning. Mark, would you come forward, please? Mark's a member of the Silas City Club, and with his consistent support of the Rotary Foundation, he is now a level 1 major donor. Mark. Next, I would like to call forward past District Governor Jack Green and his wife Charlene, and they have reached the level of being level 2 supporters of the Rotary Foundation. Jack and Charlene. Chairman of the Rotary Leadership Institute, a member of the Kernersville Club, and a level 2 major donor. He said he knew that tonight was formal class. Now, if you would please show your appreciation to all of these major donors for their outstanding support. I'll ask past District Governor Bob Newton, who is chairman of the Rotary Endowment for the district, to come forward and recognize our new Request Society members. Bob.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to recognize tonight new members of the Request Society, those people who have made their contributions to the endowment portion of our Rotary Foundation. I often refer to these gifts as the gifts that keep on giving, because as you may know, we invest that money and the proceeds of those investments are added to the funds in the annual fund for all of the work that goes on in the Rotary Foundation. So we're very pleased to recognize tonight several folks who have reached or have joined, I should say, the Request Society. If you will, as I call your name, come forward and allow me to present to you a token of your gift to the Request Society and an expression of our appreciation for your generosity. First of all, from the Grand Club, Russell Goff. From the Randolph Rotary Club, Vicki Gallimore. From the Ashboro Club, H.R. Gallimore. From Walnut Cove, Deborah Cowan. And the fifth recipient is a person whose generosity we celebrate, but we also celebrate her birthday today, and that's Erica Parker from Gate City Rotary. Erica. We have one level 2 Request Society member to recognize this evening. I'm sorry to report that Leslie is not here, but Lloyd Navarro from the Sand Hills Rotary Club is here, and Lloyd, we'd like to call you forward, please. I believe that concludes that presentation, and I'll now then turn the podium over to Dave McCoy, who will continue our recognition with Paul Harris Society members. Dave, thank you.
Back in July of 2013, Rotary International, Rotary Foundation, recognized as a program of the foundation, the Paul Harris Society. The Paul Harris Society had been in existence for a while, but the foundation then took it as a program. Paul Harris Society is a giving level of $1,000 a year, but it can be made very painless. It can be done $85 a month, $250 a quarter, Rotary Direct, through your club, any number of ways, but it is obtainable. Back in the planning session for District Governor Patrick Geeks, we get together for breakfast. And one morning, Patrick and Mike decided to put a goal on the Paul Harris Society of 50 new members now for the year. Now that would probably make most people lose their appetite. But when you think about it, that's one per club. One per club. Very obtainable. And I'm pleased that starting July 1st through the end of October, we have added 33 new Paul Harris Society members. So Patrick and Mike, I'm all about changing goals because I think that we can exceed the 50. And I would like to have the 33 new ones, see how well we can follow directions, the 33 new ones stand so that we can recognize them. And we have 99 Paul Harris Society members now. I think 66 are here. So I would like all the Paul Harris Society members to stand so that we can adequately recognize you for your wonderful and continued It was totally unbelievable to me that as I started working with the clubs and with the foundation advocates, the number of people that just came forward and said, we want to do this. We believe in the work of the Rotary Foundation. And this This is an intent to give $1,000 a year. Now, I mentioned earlier, we are at 99. I hate odd numbers like that. I want to, before we leave tonight, to make it 100. Here's what I am proposing. I have these forms. I'm going to make it real painless for you the first year. I have these forms, and I'll make an agreement with you. If for this year, you'll sign this form to, as an intent to become a member of the Paul Harris Society, and issue a check for $500, I will pick up the other 500. 100 today. Okay? So, thank you so much for your strong support. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dave.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did it again.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh,
Let's get this back down. Now, I can't see my club from here, but I want to say it's great to be at the podium again, and thank you, Patrick, for allowing me to speak. At the Greensboro Airport Club, I'm no longer allowed to speak. When I asked a couple of weeks ago if I could have a moment at the podium, the president-elect said no. And I said, why? He said, because all the past presidents said, if Cookie asked you to talk, say no. But someone will still let me do this, and that's Patrick. In fact, he said, you can talk as long as you want tonight. It just doesn't matter. Just however long you want to take, it'll be okay. But I'm going to move along tonight and tell you that it is my privilege to recognize the top per capita giving clubs in our district for 2013-14. This is the first class. How many first class presidents do we have in the room tonight? We have some that are here tonight. We actually had 9 clubs achieving per capita giving above $200 during this year. A great accomplishment, which really exceeds the 100% sustaining challenge that we were shooting for. So hold your applause if you can figure out how to do that. But I'm just going to run through the names of the clubs in our district who exceeded that sustaining membership and actually reached the $200 mark for per capita. The Rotary clubs of Stratford, Hillsdale Sunrise, Crescent, Furnitureland, Gate City, Yadkinville, Midstate, Greensboro Airport, and Pinehurst. Tonight, we will present recognition banners from Rotary International for our top 3 per capita clubs. So I'm going to ask each one of the clubs, you know who you are, there are 3 here, to send one representative when I call you to the stage to accept the banner quickly as possible, because Patrick has assured me that he doesn't want to set the record for the longest foundation banquet award ceremony ever. So contributing per capita giving of $428.76 to our foundation. In 3rd place, the recognition is awarded to the Rotary Club of Mid-State. Contributing $648.63 to our Rotary Foundation. In 2nd place, the recognition goes to Greensboro Airport Club. Now, contributing $688.26 to our Rotary Foundation. In 1st place, our first class clubs, Pinehurst. class year. So let me take a moment to express my appreciation for the support and the guidance for my partner this year in leadership, District Rotary Foundation Committee Chair Mike Conrad. He has provided a wonderful support for me during the year. Mike spread enthusiasm and for our goals, absolutely, and made Foundation all things fun and successful. Please join me in thanking Mike Conrad once again. Our district accepted the challenge from Rotary International President Ron Burton to become a first-class district. And as I recall, we were one of only 44 districts in the world that successfully raised funds for our Rotary Foundation from all of our club presidents before our year started. Then Mike says to me, if we want to promote our district goal for all members to be sustaining members, we need to challenge our clubs to be first-class clubs. So that's what he did. Mike put out the challenge to be a first-class club. All members in the club must be sustaining members. Each person gives at least $100 a year to our foundation. By our 2014 district conference, we had 45 E-Ray clubs and 41 100% sustaining clubs. We celebrated with a great picture. It's my favorite picture of the whole conference. I've still got it on my Facebook page. All our presidents with their first-class banners. Then by the end of June, we had added one more club to the list, pulling our 100% sustaining club number to 42. Ashboro Club took on this challenge and became our 42nd club to reach first class. So let me invite a representative from Ashboro Club to the stage now for another photo op to accept the first class banner. Ashboro. So Governor Patrick, here's what first class means. Chief, primary, original, unique, leading, major, main, paramount. No reflection on this year's best class, but first class, now that has class. Thank you to Mike and our fantastic Foundation Committee dedicated to the 2013-14 wonderful club presidents who raised funds last year for our Rotary Foundation, exceeding our goals and our expectations. I have one more person to thank for being a wonderful partner in Foundation success last year, and that is Governor Patrick, often behind the scenes providing technical advice, experience, and big confidence boosters for me. Patrick played a great role in our successes last year. He is only best class, but let's welcome him to the stage now as our beloved District Governor, Patrick.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Cookie, on behalf of my club. They appreciate you turning this into a roast. They're always looking for a chance for a jab at me, so thank you so much. As you'll see in your programs, we have a special presentation now. It's one of the really neat opportunities that I have this year in serving you as governor to recognize one of the outstanding, particularly outstanding Rotarians in our district. We're here to award the citation for meritorious service this evening. This is a very high honor for service to the Rotary Foundation. It's approved by the Rotary Foundation trustees. There is a maximum of 1 award given in a district in a given Rotary year. In fact, in our history, there have only been 18 recipients in our district. So you know I can't give you the name of this person right away. I have to tell you a little bit about that person. But I bet it will become obvious who it is as we go. Early in 2005, this Rotarian came to me, knew I was involved with the Rotary Foundation, and knew that I would be your District Rotary Foundation chair coming up. And this Rotarian said to me, what would you think if we were to become the world's first 100% Rotary Paul Harris Fellow District? Now, I'll admit to you that I reacted to that question about like I did the Stewart's Challenge on the Triple Crown, which is, that's crazy talk. But you know what? It's worth going for. Because even if we fall a little bit short, we're going to accomplish some amazing things. We're going to increase our giving and our support of the Rotary Foundation, and we're going to change more lives. This Rotarian mapped out a plan for our district to become 100% Paul Harris Fellow. Now, it would have been very simple to just take our accumulated Rotary Foundation points and just create a whole bunch of Paul Harris Fellows across the district. That could have been done. But this Rotarian was much more strategic in the way he approached this. So he met with club after club after club and sat down with leadership and said, I want you to become a 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club, and I'll help you get there with some points. But if you accept these points, you must agree to become and to remain in the future a 100% sustaining club. You also must agree that as you build points, that you will pay those forward when asked. It was a very smart way to approach this, and as you heard tonight, 42 100% sustaining clubs. In fact, during this Rotarian's tenure as our annual fund chair, I think at that time it was the annual programs fund chair, we led the world 5 years in a row in the number of 100% sustaining clubs. Pretty amazing accomplishment. So with the vision required to go after this banner, and with the amazing effort and time and patience, the effort picked up steam. And I will tell you that this Rotarian would be the first to say it was not a solo effort. There were many people who helped along the way, who met with clubs and who helped us reach this goal. But this individual was the one who conceived of such a lofty goal and led us to achieve that goal. When I think of this Rotarian, I think of a catchphrase that he developed, which was aloha. Now, he decided that E-Ray was a little bit tough to decipher, but aloha, everybody could remember. And it means at least 100 annually. It was so catchy that there are those at the Rotary Foundation staff who picked up on it. And when I went to my first district governor training, the person who came in to talk about annual fund support said, I want to tell you about this neat phrase, aloha. Thought, that's pretty cool. It's come full circle. Well, as you heard earlier tonight, March 27th, 2008, when Dave McCoy was governor, we were certified by President Wilf Wilkerson and Foundation Trustee Chairman Bob Scott as the first 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club in the world. Pretty amazing accomplishment given over 530 districts in the world. There are now 3 districts, including one to our south in South Carolina, who have reached this accomplishment. So I would like to call to the stage Derek Grantham of the Randolph Rotary Club, who was lighting up Rotary long before it was a thing, to come accept your citation for meritorious service. sees up here presenting this award is that this is actually the 2013-14 citation for meritorious service. But we had to wait till we had the right opportunity to recognize Derek. So Derek, congratulations, and more importantly, thank you for all of your service. He continues to be a stalwart when it comes to supporting the Rotary Foundation. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker this evening. I briefly introduced him earlier this evening when we recognized our past governors, but I'd like to give you a little bit more full introduction now. John Durham, a lifelong resident of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And you could read many accomplishments in your program tonight, but I think he would put right at the top of that being married to Judy for 55 years, having 4 children and 5 grandchildren, all of whom live close, which is a very nice thing. He's the chairman of the board of Campbell & Associates, consulting engineering firm. He's a mechanical engineer just like me. So, I like that a lot. He's been active in so many community endeavors. As distinguished as he is worldwide in support of Rotary International and the Rotary Foundation, he has been active in the United Way and his Chamber of Commerce and the Boy Scouts and a dozen other community organizations. He was the 1970 Tennessee Young Man of the Year. I hate to say that because that sort of puts a timeline on things. But 1970 Tennessee Young Man of the Year. He served our country in the Air Force for 4 years. He was recognized as a White House Champion of Change. His Rotary resume, he joined Rotary in 1976. He was president of the Chattanooga Rotary Club in 93, 94. He served his district as governor in 96, 97. He served on the Rotary International Board of Directors 2003 to 2005, including the second year, 04-05, as Rotary International Vice President. He's been a Rotary Foundation trustee for 4 years, including 2 years as vice chair of that board. He's been on the nominating committee who selects the Rotary International president 4 times and chaired it 3 of those times. You could probably figure out that I could talk for another hour giving you the amazing accomplishments of John Durham. He chaired the $200 million challenge for polio, and I'll note that it exceeded that goal by almost 20%, right around 20%. He was the International Polio Plus Committee Chair, and only resigned that because he had to, because he has been selected as Rotary International President for 2016-17. He's been recognized with the Service Above Self Award, the Citation for Meritorious Service, the Distinguished Service Award, and John and Judy are major donors and members of the Arts Commons Society. It is our distinct honor and privilege to have John Durham with us to share his message this evening. John.
I need an obituary, I'm going to ask you to write that. It's great to be here to look at this wonderful audience and look at all the things that have been accomplished in this district. I'd never heard of 100% Paul Parish District before that I got the invitation in September last year to come here and started thinking about what was I going to say to this district. That's hard to do when you're already so devoted, so dedicated to what I think is the greatest part of Rotary International. And that's our Rotary Foundation. So it gives me pleasure to be here tonight to talk to you for, Patrick said I had an hour and a half. If any of you are still here, you'll be by yourself. You know, when I think about the Rotary Foundation and all the great work that can be done within our foundation, it can only be done because of the generosity of those that are in this room and those that could not be here tonight. Because you see, it takes all of us to accomplish that great work that is done by our Rotary Foundation. Well, as I think about the Rotary Foundation, I think about the Rotary Foundation being like a person. A person has arms, legs, brain, heart. And I think that Rotary is that person. And I think the foundation is that heart. That heart of Rotary that pumps that life-saving blood through our organization. That contribution that each of us gives to that Rotary Foundation that continues pumping life into people around the world. That organization, that heart that means so much to those that are less fortunate than we are. Not just around the world, but right in our own communities. When we think about people in our community that cannot read the prescription on the medicine bottle that they've been given to take. When we think about people up the road, not too far away, that don't have clean water to drink, or they don't have proper education, I think about the Rotary Foundation and the work that we do. Bob Barth once said, we need to approach Rotary with an intelligent heart. And by that he meant that we had to combine our emotional response and pragmatic action. It was not enough to work with emotion. It's not enough to work programmatically. We have to have both. If we want to be successful, I guess the meeting is now over. Patrick, you did that on purpose, didn't you? If we want to be successful in what we're trying to do as Rotarians, we have to be successful with our Rotary Foundation. As we've recognized all of the recipients here tonight, we've certainly been successful. We've been successful by working with projects through our foundation. This foundation does not belong to 15 trustees that meet in Evanston. This foundation does not belong to the corporate member, which is the Rotary International Board of Directors. This foundation belongs to each and every one of you, because you are what makes the foundation. You make it by your gifts. You make it by the decisions that you make when you decide who is going to receive